Imagine this. It's a quiet afternoon. You are sitting in a sunlit room, the gentle hum of life outside, contrasting with the frenetic activity happening within. Your brain is busy, a never-ending stream of thoughts racing like a pack of wild horses. In that moment, you might feel a subtle pressure building over your forehead, a heaviness in your chest. That feeling, my friend, is a signal that heavy thinking is straining your heart. Let's picture your brain as a bustling city at rush hour. There are busy roads of ideas crossing paths, signals lighting up with each new thought, decisions being made every second. In this city, working memory acts like a central processing center, a vast library where current information is reviewed, sorted, and sent off to different parts of the brain for deeper processing. Just as an overloaded post office struggles to deliver letters on time, an overtaxed working memory can slow down, causing a delay and stress throughout the system. Now, you might wonder, how does this mental overload affect my heart? To understand, we need to explore the remarkable connection between your brain and your most vital muscle, the heart. When stress or an overload of thoughts takes hold, the body's reaction is instant. The heart, like a finely tuned instrument, is sensitive to the ebb and flow of life's demands. Under normal conditions, your heart rate naturally fluctuates, a quality known as heart rate variability, or HRV. Think of HRV as the subtle variations in the beat of a drum during a gentle musical performance. This variability indicates that your heart is adaptable and flexible, responding to different needs and situations with calm resilience. However, picture what happens when the city of your mind becomes overwhelmed. With every heavy thought, the central processing unit in your brain struggles under the weight of too many demands. The stress signaled from this overload sends a cascade of nervous messages along the body's highways. The resulting effect is a marked decrease in HRV, a stiffening of the once flexible rhythm. It is as if the drummer has lost his sense of timing, and the once melodious beat turns into a monotonous, heavy thud that echoes with unease. Throughout history, researchers have observed this delicate dance between cognitive load and heart function. They discovered that when the brain faces too much information at once, when the cascade of thoughts becomes overwhelming, the body's natural rhythm is subtly, yet unmistakably disturbed. Studies have shown that people engaged in intense mental tasks, such as solving complex puzzles or navigating intricate problems, sometimes experience a physical change in their heart's rhythm. For those unacquainted with the science behind it, this means that the work your mind does has visible, almost poetic consequences on your body. Picture this visual, on a computer screen. An image of a brain overloaded with countless sparks of thought, interwoven with an ECG line that dips and sways. The dipping line represents the heart's beat, normally smooth and even, now disrupted by the heavy load of cognitive effort. The simple caption, "Thinking hurts?" calls your attention to the fact that the mind, when burdened by too much information and constant worry, can impose a measurable strain on the heart. Let us delve a little deeper into this metaphor. Consider a time when you felt truly overwhelmed, perhaps during a challenging day at work, or while grappling with important decisions in life. It wasn't just your mind that was exhausted. You likely felt your heart pounding erratically, as if echoing the inner chaos. That pounding is not a mere coincidence. The other day, you might have experienced a moment when the pressure of decisions made your heart rate seem to spike or falter. This physical response is a manifestation of a deeper connection between the mind and the heart, a link that science confirms with every beat. At the core of this connection is the idea that our thoughts are not confined solely to our mind. They reverberate throughout our entire being. When you concentrate intensely, you might notice that your breathing becomes shallow, your muscles tense, and your heart slows its natural dance of variability. This phenomenon is particularly noticeable during periods of cognitive overload. Think of someone preparing for an important presentation, or studying late into the night. In these situations, the working memory soldiers on, yet the heart pays a price. The result, a reduced heart rate variability that indicates a body under strain. So how does this happen? The mechanism involves a fascinating interplay of the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for higher-level thinking, and the autonomic nervous system, which governs the automatic processes of the body, like heart rate and breathing. When you engage in heavy thinking, your brain sends out signals akin to an alarm, instructing your body to brace itself. The sympathetic branch of the nervous system, the part that prepares you for fight or flight, suddenly takes over. This causes your heart to beat with more force, often resulting in a more uniform and less variable rhythm. It is as though the flexibility of your heart's natural beat is temporarily sacrificed in the service of cognitive demands. As you listen to these insights, remember that this is not a cause for alarm, but rather a gentle reminder of how intimately connected our mental and physical selves are. Think of your body as an orchestra in which every instrument, from the strings to the percussion, must work in harmony. When one section, like the brass representing your intense thoughts, plays too loudly, the entire performance can become unbalanced. Now, let's navigate the daily lives of those who encounter such cognitive overload. Imagine a student studying for exams, the pages of textbooks piled high, the ticking clock in the background, and a mind striving to retain every detail. Their working memory is in overdrive, juggling definitions, concepts, and equations. Yet, as the clock ticks on and the volume of information increases, the stress of overthinking begins to manifest physically. The gentle pulse of the heart slows, and HRV diminishes. In this dance of stress, the brain's heavy load shows up as a tangible mark, reminding us that our cognitive efforts can leave footprints on our heart's rhythm. Consider another everyday scenario. A person preparing for an important meeting, their mind swirling with potential outcomes and unwelcome what-ifs. Here, the demand on their working memory is enormous. Every decision, every possibility competes for attention. It is not long before the heart begins to echo this internal contest. The reduced HRV becomes the silent testimony of the cognitive trials faced in that moment. Even if you have never seen an electrocardiogram, imagine a line on a graph that should ideally have a natural, gentle variability, like the soft beat of a calm drum, now disrupted by abrupt, uniform dips that speak to the impact of relentless, heavy thinking. Understanding this might inspire you to consider the value of balance in daily life. Acknowledge that it is completely natural for your heart and mind to become stressed when challenged. Just as a city must overcome rush hours and occasional gridlocks, our minds need to be managed with care and mindfulness. Recognizing the dual impact of cognitive load on both mind and body opens up an opportunity for practical change. So what strategies might help reduce this strain? Let's explore some suggestions that are accessible and practical, particularly for those new to these ideas. One key approach is to learn the art of taking systematic breaks when engaged in heavy mental work. Think of these breaks as much-needed intervals between musical movements in a symphony. During these pauses, allow yourself to step back and breathe deeply. Taking even a few moments to simply disconnect from the constant stream of thoughts can make a significant difference in the harmony between your mental and physical states. Another strategy is to engage in mindfulness or relaxation practices. These practices involve focusing on the present moment, observing your breathing, noticing the sensations in your body, and allowing your mind to settle. With regular mindfulness, you begin to notice the subtle cues from your body when stress starts to mount. You might catch the early signs of a reduced heart rate variability, a gentle reminder that the cognitive load is affecting you physically. By slowing down and reconnecting with your body, you have the power to gently ease both your mind and your heart from the climactic pressures of thinking. Let us also consider the role of physical activity. A short walk, some light stretching, or even a moment of quiet movement can invigorate your heart and help reset its natural rhythm. Imagine yourself stepping outside, feeling the cool breeze and hearing the soft rustle of leaves. That physical stimulation provides a counterbalance to the overactivity of your mind. As your heart begins to beat in a more balanced manner, you'll start to feel that the overwhelming tide of thoughts is being calmed by the steady rhythm of your own physicality. Behind these suggestions lies a powerful message. Our bodies and minds are not separate entities. They are parts of a unified system, each influencing the other in profound ways. As you navigate your day, pay attention to how your brain and your heart respond to stress and busy thinking. Recognizing the signs of cognitive overload doesn't mean you are weak, it means you are aware. And this awareness is the first step to nurturing a more balanced connection between thought and heart. To illustrate further, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a beautiful forest. Each tree in this forest represents a thought, and the canopy above is the summation of your working memory at a given moment. When a storm brews, symbolizing a surge of intense cognitive activity, the trees sway under the strain of strong winds. The forest, vibrant and resilient, begins to show signs of stress. In much the same way, your heart's rhythm reflects the inner turmoil caused by an inundation of thoughts. However, just as the forest calms once the storm passes, you too can restore balance through measured breaths and mindful actions. It is also valuable to remember that this interplay between cognitive load and heart function isn't a permanent state. It is a dynamic process, a series of ebbs and flows that we all experience. Think of it as a natural rhythm, one that occasionally needs to be recalibrated. When you sense that your heart is losing its natural variability, it is an invitation to pause, to engage in self-care, and allow your mind a moment to exfoliate the heavy layers of thought. For newcomers to this fascinating subject, it is essential to embrace simple concepts without being overwhelmed by terminology. Instead of getting entangled in complicated jargon, think of your brain as a diligent worker, trying its best to manage an immense load of information, and your heart as the loyal partner ensuring that every beat supports your journey through life. The phrase "thinking hurts" then becomes not an expression of pessimism, but a call to mindfulness, a reminder that every burst of heavy thinking has a physical echo. Now let your awareness wander to a cozy room filled with calming sounds, a gentle melody in the background, low lighting that soothes, and perhaps the aromatic scent of your favorite essential oil in the air. In that space, the storm of thoughts begins to subside. You might notice that the tension in your chest eases, your breathing becomes more measured, and the rhythmic dance of your heart is restored to its natural cadence. This is the essence of finding balance, not by avoiding thought altogether, but by learning to respect and regulate its intensity. It is interesting to reflect on how our modern life, filled with constant digital chatter and unending streams of information, challenges our natural rhythms. Every notification on your phone, every email, and every news update competes for your cognitive attention, much like a never-ending parade along the streets of your mind. The conclusion is simple yet profound. While technology offers us immense benefits, it also demands a price from our cognitive well-being, which can manifest in our physical responses, even in something as fundamental as our heart rate variability. Recognizing this link is the first step toward creating a healthier harmony between the demands of modern life and your internal rhythm. In your journey forward, consider moments when you might be tempted to dive into an avalanche of tasks, thoughts, or ideas all at once. Instead, pepper your day with brief pauses, moments of calm where you reconnect with the steady beat of your heart. Listen to how your own body reminds you that amidst the torrent of thoughts, there is an underlying, unchanging rhythm that deserves nurturing and care. To sum up, the narrative here is clear. Heavy thinking, or cognitive overload, does more than simply tire your brain, it leaves a physical mark on your heart. The decrease in heart rate variability is a silent signal, an echo of the deep connection between thought and physical state. This link is both a marvel of the human body and a gentle admonition to tend with care to the interplay of mental and physical health. By understanding that every intense mental effort may strain your heart, you open the door to a more mindful existence, where taking care of your cognitive load becomes as important as nourishing your body. As you continue to explore these concepts, remember that the journey toward balance is ongoing. Every time you tune into the subtle signals of your body, you learn more about the interplay of mind and heart. Recognize that the simple act of pausing to breathe, to let go of one overwhelming thought, or to step outside and feel the softness of grass beneath your feet, is a celebration of your deep internal connection. In these moments, the burden of heavy thinking eases, and your heart is free to beat with renewed variability, a living testament to the dance of life that continues regardless of the mental storms that may pass. Now consider this a gentle invitation to transform the way you approach your daily thoughts. When you experience that heaviness at the intersection of mental activity and a racing heart, see it not as a flaw, but as a message from your inner self. The message is clear and resounding. Take time for pause, engage in mindful practices, and remember that protecting your heart's unique rhythm is as important as any achievement in thought. Your heart, after all, is the silent drummer of your life, and every beat matters. Every step you take toward understanding and easing the burden of cognitive overload is a step toward a more harmonious, balanced life. Your mental clutter has its rightful place, yet letting it spill over into physical strain can detract from the quality of your daily experiences. Instead, aim for moments of clarity, rest, and mindfulness. Envision the interplay between your thoughts and your heartbeat as a masterful, albeit sometimes dissonant, piece of music that you have the power to direct. You hold the conductor's baton in this orchestrated dance, and your careful choices can bring back the smooth, intricate variability that marks a healthy rhythm. In the end, as you reflect on these insights, think of yourself as both an artist and a caretaker. An artist sculpting your own mental landscapes and a caretaker tending to the rhythm of your heart. Embrace the notion that heavy thinking is not inherently negative, it is an integral part of your intellectual vitality. However, when that mental intensity tips into overload, it pays to listen to the quiet signals from within. The dip in your ECG, the slowing of HRV, and the subtle tension in your muscles are all part of a finely tuned dialogue between your mind and body, one that can guide you toward better self-care, deeper mindfulness, and ultimately, a more balanced life. Let this script serve as both an explanation and an inspiration. As you digest the idea that heavy thinking strains your heart, let it remind you to honor the connection between your thoughts and your physical self. The awareness that cognitive overload leaves a physical mark is a call to slow down, to observe, and to find moments of stillness in the midst of everyday hustle. By doing so, you protect not only your mind but also your heart, the very engine that keeps the rhythm of your life alive. In closing, consider the journey of a single day. Each morning, as you awaken, set the intention of balancing your thoughts with care. Whether you're working, studying, or simply drifting through fleeting moments, remember that every decision to pause and reset is a bonus for both your mental clarity and the health of your heart. The message is simple yet profound. The more you take care of the harmony between thought and physical sensation, the more resilient and graceful you become in the face of life's challenges. And in that graceful balance, you discover that indeed, thinking hurts, but only when you do not allow yourself the tender space to breathe and to live in rhythm with your true vibrant beat. Keep this image in your mind, a serene landscape, where a vibrant brain and a gently pulsing heart coexist in a dance of equilibrium. Every time your thoughts swell into a tidal wave, recall the rhythm that pulses steadily beneath it all. The rhythm of a heart that, when well cared for, can withstand the pressures of even the heaviest cognitive load, allowing you to thrive both mentally and physically. Here lies your guide to mindful thinking. Listen deeply to your heart, trust the natural flow of your inner rhythm, and let each moment of calm serve as a reminder that your well-being is intertwined with the balance between thought and breath. In the grand symphony of life, every heartbeat tells a part of your story, one where even the storms of heavy thought can lead to a serene and measured cadence, as long as you allow yourself to pause, reflect, and renew. Embrace the day ahead with the understanding that your mind's efforts, as immense as they may be, deserve the tender care of a balanced heart. With every mindful breath, each moment of quiet reflection, you reclaim the harmony that heavy thinking might momentarily disrupt. And in that very act of reclaiming balance, you affirm that both thought and heart remain inextricably connected, a living narrative of your strength and resilience. Let this understanding be your companion, your steady guide on the journey to wellness, a journey where every thought is valued, every heartbeat cherished, and every moment of calm celebrated as the triumph of balanced living. Remember, heavy thinking may strain your heart, but your ability to nurture a harmonious inner rhythm is the key that transforms that strain into a beautiful lived experience. Now, step forward into your day with gentle awareness, a calm mind, and a heart that beats with the freedom of true balance. For in this careful interplay of cognition and emotion, in the nuanced drop of your heart's rhythm, lies the secret to sustained well-being, a secret that you now hold dearly, a melody whose beat you are empowered to direct. Thank you for taking this journey through the delicate landscapes of your mind and heart, and may every silent beat be a reminder of the strength embedded in the balance you cultivate.